Hi there, I'm Eve from Mystic Rainbow Tarot. Thank you for tuning in today. This is another requested reading. It's an update on Rosie from BLACKPINK and Jungkook from BTS. So I'll just get the cards and we'll see what they're doing at the moment. What's going on. I'll take the crystal off. Rosie and Jungkook. What's going on with Rosie and Jungkook? Messages about Rosie and Jungkook. How are things between Rosie and Jungkook at the moment? Are there any new messages about Rosie and Jungkook from Spirit? Rosie and Jungkook. So let's see what we have about Rosie and Jungkook. Running out of room, I think. Could just fit that one on the end. I'm just going to put the cards there. So let's see what we have. And here we have the Three of Pentacles. I'll just hold that up for you. So this is a very positive card. It's all about a new relationship of love and about people finding a new romance through work or with someone you share the same profession with. So this card relates to Rosie and Jungkook just initially meeting through their work, the music industry, and getting to know each other simply by talking and talking about their dreams for the future with their career and how they want their songs to go and what music interests them. I think I saw somewhere that Rosie likes Ed Sheeran songs, and Jungkook wanted to be a badminton player. So, and they can also both play the guitar, and Rosie is the main singer and lead dancer of BLACKPINK, and Jungkook is the lead singer and lead dancer of BTS. So they had all this in common to talk about, and this is where their good friendship started, from having things in common of interest with the singing career and the love of dancing. And now I see also in the reading, I see we have the Ace of Cups, so I'll just put that so you can see that. So I'm picking up that these two in the reading, it relates to, there's a big transformation. It's powerful, it's life altering. This card combination means love at first sight. This represents you have met your soulmate, so that's why it's so significant. It's the soulmate thing. Let's put that back a sec. Yeah. I feel these two can talk together for long periods of time, because Rosie is very friendly and bubbly and chatty, and they just communicate very well. I feel these two really admire and respect each other. I feel Rosie is very intuitive, so anytime Jungkook is stressed about anything, Rosie does her best to make him feel better. That's good. I feel he is a very loyal type of person, so she has no worries there, and he is always there for her too. When it comes to their careers, these two are both very ambitious and focused, but this doesn't mean they're going to become workaholics, so they will always make time for each other. And you do need to do that in a relationship. Make sure there's time to see each other. And right, so the next one is the Ace of Cups. So with this, I'm getting that Rosie and Jungkook have moved on from friendship. This is feelings of hope, the start of a new relationship. I feel there is a lot of potential in this relationship. These two are very much into each other and excited about their new romance. It's about emotions, and you know, all the feelings are there. This is the early stages of love, and I do feel it will blossom further. So they are in love. I think these two fascinate each other, and it is their shared interests that have actually brought them together. You know, their love of music, singing and dancing and entertaining. I feel in the beginning these two were a little hesitant at becoming too close. Just more at the start of the relationship, because they were both reluctant to open up. But this is only because they are the sort of people who want to really understand each other before they move to a closer relationship. Well, I always think it's best to start as friends and really get to know someone before you date, so that you don't make a painful mistake. So they're doing the right thing. Now they have really got to know each other, and they realise they make a great combination. They have become closer and are now they're very caring towards each other, and I feel Rosie has brought Jungkook out of himself more, because he's a quieter type of person. These two also have a good relationship with shared friends together. I suppose this is due to them both working in the music industry. I feel like these two could talk for hours about just about anything, and that Jungkook feels Rosie makes his life more interesting and exciting through her warm love, and she encourages him to be more adventurous when they are together. They love to support each other with anything, and they always celebrate when either one of them has done well. Oh, that's nice. So next we have the Eight of Swords. So I'll just hold that up for you. Right. So what I'm getting here is this relates to contracts that these two have signed. These contracts that they have signed tie them up. I mean, as you can see on the card, look, the person in the card is all bound up, all tied up. And also blindfolded there, you can see. Yeah, this relates to they were too young and naive, basically blinded by not understanding what these contracts fully meant. So what else am I getting? Yeah, and so they signed up in the music industry with these contracts. So it's kind of like they wanted a good music career, but didn't see all that was going on, you know, with the blindfold. That they couldn't see or understand everything in these contracts. But they can't get out of these contracts. They have to wait until they run out. So it makes them feel very restricted in what they can do and what they can't do. Someone else has some power and control over their lives. It's all about, there has been some entrapment here. Because these two have had to keep their friendship in the past a secret, and they were afraid that people, that there's certain people who would not approve, so that's why they kept it a secret. Mainly because they've signed these contracts, and in the contracts are strict rules about dating, and they're not allowed to date while they're in training. But the good news is they have both finished their training, so things are better for them. They have been given permission now to date. And if you watched my last video about them, that's what they were waiting for. Well, they've now got the permission to date, but on the terms of the agency that manages them. They do have to keep things a secret and deny a relationship because of the press, and they don't want the questions from the press, and they are under some restrictions of when they can see each other and for how long. Also, it's not like they can just quit and walk away from their agencies, as they would have to pay them so much money back. It wouldn't be worth their while. These contracts include they are not allowed to get in any kind of trouble, like drink driving, drugs, sort of sex scandals, anything, because they want them to keep a squeaky clean image as the perfect idol for them. It's all about their image with these agencies. So let's see what we have next in the reading. The next card in the reading is the Eight of Pentacles. So the number 8 on this card, well, it's actually Roman numerals, but it is the number 8, relates in this reading to willpower. This relates to Jungkook, and that he is tolerant and hardworking. There you see in the picture, there's the guy working really hard there. So, and this tells me that no matter what happens to Rosie, he will stay by her side, and he really wants to continue the romance. So this also relates to Jungkook has a lot of romantic feelings for Rosie, and he is very clear and not at all muddled up about this. He knows this is what he wants. I feel like Jungkook has the same dedication to this relationship as he does with everything in his life. Just like it's showing in the card, with the person really putting their effort into the work. Well, this is the same as Jungkook. He really puts the effort into his work, and I do feel this is what he does even with his dance routines. He will practice them over and over again, and see the repetition of what he does until he gets it perfect. He's a bit of a perfectionist, in fact. It also means that there is no one else, no other person involved. They only have eyes for each other, so that's good. So as we see again in the picture, there's a guy who is working hard, diligently at getting, and that just relates to Jungkook. He's getting his singing and dancing routines perfect. I see him thinking about Rosie often, because we go back to the number 8 on the card again, and this can represent infinity. He is thinking about her over and over again. I do see repetitive thinking and feelings going on between these two, which is a good thing right now. And it's when they're apart, they think about each other a lot. The 8 of Pentacles is about loyalty, and that they are willing to work hard to make this relationship work. They want to make it a stable, they want to make it stable and happy is what I mean. And I feel Jungkook is a person who would be loyal through any tough times. He's very grown up for his age, actually, and is happy to put in any time or efforts, you know, that is needed. He's not a flighty person is what I mean. And I feel Rosie is a devoted, kind-hearted and emotionally intelligent soul. So let's put that back and see what else we have. To move that out the way. So that is the Queen of Swords. I feel this relates to Rosie, and she is very ambitious. She's intelligent and creative. She's also very beautiful. She is quite a persuasive type of person, and will often encourage her friends to go for that thing they've always been wanting to do and they talk about. I feel she is close to Lisa in the band, and they spend time watching movies together and having late night chats, you know, girly late nights. She does love a challenge, and I see her challenging the other band members, even if it's just on a game for fun. She also likes learning new languages. I really don't feel that she is desperate to settle down or anything. She loves the companionship of their relationship, and after all, it just started as a platonic friendship, but now it has turned into something more loving and fulfilling. And she does love that. I feel like Rosie has some funny, quirky ways. Some people might think she's a bit eccentric, but personally, I like people who can be themselves and not care what other people think. And if that's labelled eccentric, so be it. You should never worry about what others think about you. I feel like she's the type of person who is fascinated by other people's lives and experiences. And she is chatty and friendly, and the sort of things she likes to do on a date would be to try different types of food, like maybe go to a Spanish restaurant and end the evening watching flamenco dancing. She's not the type of person just to go to a conventional restaurant and eat everyday normal food. That's just not her thing. Also, she is very arty and loves music and dancing. She likes people who are open-minded, and so do I, because there are so many things in this world that just aren't what they appear to be. I feel like she's often thinking about ways that could help improve our world, and that, yeah, and that's not a bad thing. What else have we got? So we've got the Two of Cups here. You can see that. Here we have it basically, with this card, the love being shared between them here. The love being shared between Rosie and Jungkook. This started as a beautiful friendship that has now blossomed into love. This relationship must be honoured, because these two are soulmates that have come together. Whether they realise it or not is another thing, and this has been developing slowly over time. These two are not in a rush, and that's good. They are dating now and just getting and they're just getting used to feelings of butterflies in their tummies when they meet up. It's a sort of giddy, intense, exciting feeling that they get. I do feel this relationship has the potential to become something great. I feel it's already worthwhile and fulfilling for both of them. This card in itself is very lucky in romance, yeah, in that sort of area, and bodes very well for Rosie and Jungkook. They have this close sort of bond on they have this close bond on an intellectual level and a spiritual level. That's what I'm getting from Spirit. They are very considerate to each other's needs and wishes. I feel this is a classic case where opposites attract each other. What I mean is, because Jungkook is a very logical person and worries about small things, and Rosie can let her imagination loose and takes everything in her stride. I feel like they were meant to meet and fate has brought them together. Another thing he likes is that she is not a wallflower, and that she is able to stand her own ground. And I think for herself, and she's able to stand up for herself, and she actually admires his intelligence, because he is sort of a quieter person by nature, but he is very knowledgeable about music and many other things, and he has lots of ideas on how to solve humanity's neediest issues, and she finds this so intriguing and interesting. And this is how they get on. They chat for a long time about these things. These two try to balance each other, you know, because they're opposite personalities. She likes doing fun things more, and finds the usual everyday things boring, as she's looking for adventure. So Rosie likes to do things on a whim or go on a spending spree, and he likes to be her logical, sort of practical guidance and stability for any matters she needs him for. So I can see that they would balance each other. Yeah, let's see what the next card is. So the next card is the Chariot. These two, Jungkook and Rosie, are in an opposites attract each other relationship, as I've said, with their personalities. And I do feel the Chariot is indicating, I can see the Chariot in this card, is indicating that movement happens at a faster pace if you're both concentrating on the same things. Because they are very different personalities from each other, their relationship can thrive and move forward, like the Chariot is suggesting there. And it can do this if they try to understand each other's needs. And I think they do, because she is unpredictable and adventurous and fun to be with, but he likes a more planned out life and is practical and organised. And she is kind of the opposite of this personality. Rosie can be a dreamer, but Jungkook lives in reality. I feel on an intellectual level, they both have a lot in common. You know, they have some very deep conversations, but I feel he can be quite a critical person and likes the last word. But I think as time goes on, Rosie will show him there's a bigger picture than nitpicking about tiny things that don't matter so much. She sees life on a bigger picture, because it's just about, if you pull in different directions, this is in their relationship, it would swerve all over the place. So I think they are learning some give and take in this relationship, so that they're going to be going in the right direction for both of them. It's all about give and take with them, because so they don't land up having a bumpy ride. She is more optimistic than he is and tends to show him the bright side of life, and he's very practical, and I could see how these would definitely work this out with some effort, because opposites often do attract each other. Because, you know, if you're more of a dreamer and adventurous, exciting, want the life type of person, a practical person is great to bring you back down to on the ground and help you out with any issues or problems, so that and let you see it in the light of reality as well. So that's good. But I feel these two do get on well a lot of the time. She is attracted to his romantic nature too. I do think these two can talk things out to sort out any problems. If they have a little tiff, they don't just go off and sulk. They can talk it through and it's resolved. And this is good because they are kind of both on different planes. So that's good they can do that as far as their mindset goes. She will want some independence, and he will appreciate some time too to do his own thing, even if he's just playing on his computer games, and she goes out for her adventures and having a good time with her friends. This is about accepting the differences in your partner and appreciating them as well. Appreciating, I feel like, the differences in their character and not trying to change each other, because that's when problems can start if you try to change people, I think. But this is about loving your partner for who they are, and they will have to work at this relationship, but anybody who's in a relationship has to work at it. That's the reality of things. But I do feel it is heading in the right direction, because they are learning to use their strengths to push forward together. So it's going well, which is the main thing. What's the next card? The next card is the King of Pentacles. So I hope you can see that. I'm getting that this card relates to Jungkook. and that he is also happy to take things slowly. Because he is the type of person, in the beginning of this, when they were just friends, he wanted to get to know Rosie well, as a friend in the start first, and she likes, you know, that he gave her enough independence and that she was happy to take it slowly as well. There's a lot of things that Rosie likes about him, that he's smart and loyal, and he quite likes that she's independent, and he sees her as intelligent, and she is. I don't feel this is a whirlwind romance at all. I feel that it has grown and evolved over a long period of time. Jungkook likes Rosie's natural beauty. It's kind of like that practical side of him, where he really appreciates and looks at her and tells her how pretty she is and everything. I see he likes nice things, but brands don't mean anything to him. He likes things simple and stylish. Well, that's good too. And that'll be his practical side again. I think when they are together, he likes everything to be perfect, because that's his perfectionist thing coming out again, and wants to make Rosie happy. I think he might find it hard if she wasn't happy, but that's just because he's still very young and learning about relationships. I do think they have opened up a lot to each other now, and that the relationship has moved forward into this developing romance. He really trusts Rosie and appreciates that she is there to support him whenever he needs it. I feel they have this constant love for each other. And when they're not together, you know, they talk on the phone. I also like that he is a very solid sort of person. What I mean is he's very grounded with everything he does. He puts a lot of thought and planning into it. He's very modest and not a showy type of person at all. What else am I getting? These two really like discussing things and talking about things they've learnt and experienced, you know, in the music, in their music, and, you know, through their training and everything. And it was this that started their friendship, because of their interest in music and dancing and hobbies they share. It's always good to have a partner you've got a lot in common with, actually. He's the type of guy that when they're out on a date, he'll offer her his jacket, you know, if it's a cold day, and open the door for her, and thinks of the perfect present for her birthday, because he feels that these little things are meaningful. Yeah, and when you think about it, they are. I do think it's the little things that count in a relationship. Right, so let's put that back. What else have we got here? So, and then this card is the star card, so I'll just put that there. So I feel like this card brings hope. I think there is a lot of promise in this relationship. I feel like this relates to their wishes coming true. It's like wishing on a star. They have always hoped that their friendship would turn into a romance, dating and love, and it has. This is about them being patient with this relationship and everything, and I feel everything will fit into place. It'll just fall into place. I feel this card relates, yeah, it relates to the future. This relates again to they have both fallen in love, and they have fallen in love with not their usual type, but it's kind of made it more special for them, because opposites do attract. It's a fact. A lot of people are with someone who's opposite and they find it fascinating because they've got the qualities that they lack. So it makes it a whole with the two of them, if you know what I mean. The star is also a good sign that things are finally going their way, because they are allowed to date now. Plus they are very hopeful about things working out between them. This is about them wanting a bright future together, and they are optimistic about that. And this is especially true with the Eight of Pentacles here in the reading as well. As Jungkook feels he is quite committed to doing and putting in the effort it might take to make this relationship work. In fact, I feel they are both dedicated and committed enough, and are putting in the effort to it, you know. I think they should follow their instincts and talk and open up about what they are expecting, because I do think Rosie will always want to keep a certain amount of independence, even in a committed relationship, you know, for her friends and social life. But I can see him being okay with this and having a quiet time in, you know, while she's off on having a bit of an adventure. I do think they respect each other and can compromise, and they do want the same sort of lifestyle together. I also think they are taking things slowly because they also want to make sure they get to know each other's needs and wants properly, so that they can have a relationship based on fairness, balance and unconditional love, and so it works out for both of them, sort of allowing each other what they both want. So and also making the relationship work. So I'm just going to get my oracle cards and give them a little shuffle, and I'm just going to pull a couple of cards out of here. So let's see what Rosie and Jungkook might want for the future, or anything they might be thinking about this relationship. Rosie and Jungkook's wants and messages for the future. So let's give these a good shuffle. So let's see what we have here. Let's put these three. I'll just pull three cards. So what's the first card that we have? The first card is New Love. So right, so what am I getting from Spirit here? So I feel this is about Rosie and Jungkook falling in love now and being totally smitten with each other. Jungkook wants Rosie to be happy, and Rosie feels the same about Jungkook. They want an equal partnership and have found that each other's happiness is very important to each other. They are now willing to go out of their way to make each other's lives easier and happier. They do like to try new things and interests that each other enjoys, and this has had a positive effect on them and is fun. Yeah, I like the sound of that. This is also validation, this card, that their connection, you know, their bond and love is a mutual, real thing. It's not a crush that's going to go off. It's real love here. So let's see what the next card is. The next one is the Soulmate card. Oh, so I feel this relates to Rosie and Jungkook wondering if they are each other's soulmates. So they've probably been thinking about this sort of secretly on their own. And I do feel they are. And as they started off as friends, they too had an inkling that they might be. Because they feel very familiar to each other. I don't know if you've ever had that familiar feeling with a friend or someone you know. As if they've known each other a lot longer than they have. They get a kind of comfortable at home feeling with each other. They do share a very close connection and a feeling like they've known each other before, because of course they have in a past life and have reincarnated to carry on with their soul's growth together and grow through their experiences in this life together. So that's lovely that they have actually met and can fulfill that. Because not everybody meets their soulmate, although everybody has one. Well, more than one actually. And there we have the wedding card. So I'll put that so you can see it. So what I'm getting from Spirit is, so these two do want to settle down in the future. So what can I see? I do see them getting married, but they are going to wait a few years. So this is not like soon. This is some years down the line because of their careers. They are still quite ambitious and want to get some more things done in their careers first. And I can understand that because they're quite young as well. This also relates to about marriage being an intimate union, an equal partnership, a commitment to be there for each other in the good and the bad times, to be each other's strength and also support each other, so that you both feel loved and secure. Marriage is a one day of the rest of your life type of thing, and really means forever. It means everlasting love, and I do feel these two could have everlasting love because of the way they feel about each other. I do see them having a couple of children, you know, after they're married, and this is all in some years to come. I do see them having a couple of children because they'd like to have a couple of children with the whole marriage scene. You know, the whole happy ever after thing. Well, anyway, let's put that back. So that's the end of the reading. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like and subscribe and press the bell icon to be notified when I do another video. If you would like a private reading, my email is below. Bye for now. See you in the next video.